Toronto's mental health crisis, the hidden struggles facing the city's youth. Toronto is widely known for its diversity, culture, and ambition. But behind the hustle of city life, a silent epidemic is growing, one that's affecting the city's most vulnerable generation. Youth in Toronto are facing a mental health crisis that's been escalating for years, worsened by the COVID-19 pandemic, housing insecurity, academic pressure, and social isolation. As the conversation around mental wellness grows louder, so too does the urgency for sustainable solutions and systemic change. A city in crisis. According to a 2023 report by Toronto Public Health, more than 1 in 5 young people aged 12 to 25 in the city reported experiencing symptoms of depression or anxiety. The number spikes even higher among youth from marginalized backgrounds. Black, Indigenous, LGBTQ+, and low-income communities bear a disproportionate burden. The pandemic intensified these struggles, cutting many youth off from support systems like school counselors, peer groups, and recreational activities. For 17-year-old Jade Williams, a high school student in Scarborough, the struggle with anxiety began in middle school. "I remember feeling like I couldn't breathe every time I had to speak in class," she says. "When COVID hit, everything got worse. I stopped eating regularly. I couldn't sleep. I felt like I was drowning, and no one noticed." Her story isn't unique. Mental health professionals across the city have reported a surge in youth seeking help, with some clinics seeing waitlists stretch up to 12 months for therapy. Barriers to access. One of the most pressing challenges facing youth is access to mental health services. While Toronto is home to world-class hospitals and community centers, there are often long wait times, high costs, and complex referral processes. For youth without private insurance or stable family support, navigating the system can be overwhelming. "We have kids calling us in crisis who are told they'll have to wait 6 months for counseling," says Sarah Kim, a youth mental health advocate with Youthline, a peer support organization. Some of them just give up. Others end up in emergency rooms, which aren't equipped for long-term support. Cultural stigma adds another barrier. In many communities, particularly among newcomers or racialized families, mental illness is not openly discussed. This silence prevents many youth from seeking help out of fear of being misunderstood, judged, or labeled. "Where I'm from, you don't talk about depression," says Arif, a 19-year-old Somali-Canadian student. "My parents think I'm just being lazy or dramatic. They don't believe in therapy. That makes it really hard to get support." The role of schools. Toronto schools play a critical role in early mental health intervention. Many students spend most of their day at school, making teachers and counselors key players in spotting the signs of distress. However, not all schools are equally equipped. Some have mental health workers on staff, while others rely on occasional visits from external professionals. The Toronto District School Board, TDSB, has acknowledged the need for more resources and has introduced initiatives like Wellness Works, a campaign to promote mindfulness and stress management. But for many educators, the emotional needs of students go far beyond what they're trained or resourced to handle. Teachers are burning out because they're trying to be educators, therapists, and social workers all at once, says Grace Chow, a high school teacher in North York. "We need a system that prioritizes mental health just as much as academics." Community-led solutions. Despite the gaps, many community organizations are stepping up to support Toronto's youth. Groups like Sketch, The New Mentality, CAM Youth Engagement, and Black Youth Helpline are creating safe spaces for young people to talk about their experiences, get mentorship, and access therapy. One stand-up program is Studio 145, a youth-led art therapy initiative based in Regent Park that uses music, writing, and visual art to help teens process trauma. Art helps them tell their stories without having to say the words out loud, says co-founder Talisha Grant. It's healing, and it builds connection. Technology is also playing a growing role. Mental health apps like MindBeacon and Inkblot offer online therapy, while Instagram accounts like @NoToKToronto share relatable, youth-created content about coping with mental health challenges. But community groups say they can't do it alone. They need consistent funding, better collaboration with government agencies, and mental health policies that center youth voices and lived experience. Looking ahead. In 2024, the Ontario government announced an additional $48 million investment in youth mental health, including expanded services at schools, hospitals, and community centers. While this funding is a step forward, Advocates warn that money alone won't fix a system that's been strained for decades. What's needed, they say, is a shift in how we think about mental health, one that values prevention over crisis intervention and community care over institutionalization. Jade, now applying to university, says she's hopeful for the next generation. People are starting to talk about it more. It's not a secret anymore. I just hope that when the next kid feels like I did, there's someone there to help. Toronto's youth are crying out, not just for help, but for understanding, for equity, and for hope. The city's future depends on whether we choose to listen.